Kishimoto loves pairs, whether it's 2 masks, 2 kyubis, 2 dreams, 2 suns, 2 Sharingan, or 2 friends. All of these parallels bounce off each other and resonate with one word: balance. The world moves because love breeds loss, hate, and damnation. But it's only in the darkness of despair that one can experience the light of salvation. Thus, they can learn to love again. And the cycle continues on, defining the world, defining shinobi. And no one thing captures this phenomenon with the same frequency as the Edo Tensei. Sai regrets never having shown his brother the final page of his picture book. One not of conflict, like the other illustrations depict, but of union. In the hell of being forced to disconnect with human feelings, they found each other, and formed a human bond. And this bond carries over through death. The Edo Tensei might have forced Sai to face his brother, but it also allows him to patch this one lingering regret regarding him. Haku and Zabuza are used as tools for another, creating the same scenario when they were alive. They conformed to the shinobi way, but Zabuza died human. This usage of the two desecrates the way they died, but it also sheds light for Haku. His death did much more than protect Zabuza's life. It saved his soul. And here, only because they are revived, feelings built up but hidden by the darkness of the world are finally conveyed. Zabuza's one regret in being unable to show Haku reciprocation is mended. From desecration comes beautiful resolution. Rasa died a pawn in a greater scheme. He spent his life reaching for a nation bigger than a dune of sand, but he could never obtain it. He sacrificed his wife and son to achieve greater heights for his country, but all he received in return was death. Gaara, though, received so much: insight, enlightenment, and a friend. He stands proud against his father, and the previous Kazekage can only lower his head in regret. But this regret is completely washed away by a simple recollection on the truth, one of love. This love so powerful, it even extends to Rasa, healing both father and son. The Sand Village will prosper, because the man leading it now understands what true strength is. Hanzo can be likened to many shinobi. He had a dream synonymous with our main character, but fell to the same disillusionment as the villain's Naruto comes to battle. His will withered long before his body. The words he once spoke about conviction's power to transcend the life it spawned from are forgotten, just like the person he uttered those words to. Mifune did not abandon his samurai way. When he faced death's door, he maintained being a shield for his comrades. Hanzo acknowledged this, and took this resolute action to heart. Had he remained a shinobi true to his own path, he would have remembered, but he forgot everything to do with his failed dream, even the regret. The disembarkment from himself leads him to slump under the darkness of his paranoia. No comrades around him, no one to sing his praises, no one to entrust with his will. The last memories he has are of his vanquisher mocking a shell of a man. When Hanzo talks of shinobi, it isn't what he saw when he marched toward peace, because he eventually turned into the very kind of ninja he despised most. No conviction, only a tool for the cause of survival. Hanzo used Mifune as a guinea pig to test the limits of conviction, but ironically, he was the one who lost his. After hearing Mifune's words, and seeing his conviction maintained after so long, though, Hanzo is reinvigorated to do something he never did in life, something Mifune helps him regret. He lost his dream, so it never lived on after he died. But now, he gets to entrust it with another, and earns an honorable second death that will be remembered. Itachi has much to regret about his clan, his brother, and himself. The origins of this strife come from Madara's stigma, and it is Madara's war that brings him back. Both are negative circumstances, but Itachi's revival brings about so much positive. He finds camaraderie he lacked in life through Naruto, receives salvation by Sasuke's confrontation, helps another find himself, and stops the jutsu plaguing the battlefield. All the wisdom Itachi disperses to Naruto, Sasuke, and Kabuto inspires the idea to seek more wisdom from the dead, in the belly of regret. Hashirama had a dream. It was once Madara's as well, but the one advantage the first's rival had over him was his foresight. Children would still have to fight, and wars would still be rampant after Konoha's construction. As long as humans continue to be human, conflict will persist. The village, what it represented, became surface level, just as Madara predicted. Underneath the will of fire Hashirama spawned was an ice-cold shadow of pragmatism, a chill his successors helped persist. Tobirama with his handling of the Uchiha, and Hiruzen with his aversion from the leaf's darkness. He avoided gazing into the abyss, so it only grew. He placed the entirety of the burden on Danzo, and he only became more shrouded as a result. prodding Itachi to make a decision, which ends in his clan's destruction, enticing Orochimaru closer to the dark, which would eventually erupt the leaf into chaos. Hiruzen put his full attention into preserving the light, ignoring the vast black foundation that held up his land. His blight is comparable to the god whose similar proclivity toward the light initiated the conflict that all of this darkness is rooted in, and both regret their aversion to it. Although, Hiruzen grasps redemption by working in tandem with the Man of the Night for a new dawn. Hashirama hears the tragedies that are still befalling the current times because of Madara, and regrets not understanding his friend generations ago. He regrets not being able to see what Madara could. But the silver lining is, the core of his dream is still proven valid. It is people born from the land he built that saved the world. He entrusted his young dream to the future, and it has matured into the force that fights against Madara's dream, ultimately eclipsing it. Madara is wrong, but Hashirama gets to leave him with a message of understanding, something he failed to do in their previous lives. And his words to his fallen friend are backed by the proof behind him, mirroring when he proved his words with actions at the end of the Warring Era. Madara, after being proven wrong for the second time in a second life, finally lets himself rest. And Minato is another soul who claims his eternal rest in this moment. Despite the epithet, Yellow Flash, he was always too late when it mattered most. He couldn't save Obito, couldn't save Rin, couldn't save Kushina, but he does save his son. And his revival helps Naruto once more. He might have been too late to do it directly, but one of the others he couldn't save before picks up the slack. And man, he helped find his light once more, fulfilling his duty as sensei. Not strictly dialogue between teacher and student, but as three men who have failed so much. Minato knows there are certain feelings only a close friend can convey, so he puts the spotlight on Kakashi, entrusting him to say the words that will reunify the soul of their team. And Minato finishes patching a lifetime of regret by fulfilling his role as a father. The finale of this aid are words he was never able to tell Naruto for 17 long years.
誕生日おめでとう.
Regret is a huge theme in the war arc, and the dead aren't the only ones who propagate it. Kakashi regrets 2 shattered teams he failed to mend. Obito, deep down, regrets the path he abandoned. Madara regrets the brothers and clan he couldn't save, which is why he attempts to claim redemption by saving the world in his own way. Hagoromo regrets not adhering to balance, giving all his gifts to the light, ignorant of the shadow that decision would cast. And even Naruto regrets the words he couldn't utter all those years ago. But I'll be talking more about all these other regrets in time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Big shout out to Johnny, Sensei Krolon, and Drepulk for their epic support over on Patreon. If you'd like to be on screen as well, consider supporting me on Patreon. Well, that's it. Spice Boy out.